All right, look at that red Firebird. It's a rainy, cold, crappy day out there. What I wanted to do today is pull in that square body with a diesel and cut the mufflers off and do some other stuff, but it's pouring down rain. It's hooked to a trailer. Why is it hooked to a trailer, do you say? Well, because that. But that's a story for another time. And I'm not inclined to go out there and unhook it and all that and then pull this out in the rain. And so I think what I'm going to do is I've got a few projects I want to do on this car. I got a new balancer for it. I never put one on it, and this thing's always kind of had a vibration. I want to change the balancer and see if that helps it. I did not have the engine balanced whenever I built it way back when. I'm kind of a dummy for that, but anyway, I want to try that. That's $100, so I want to put relays for the headlights, and I need to rebuild the power steering pump because it's leaking. And also I need to do a little bit on the carburetor. I think I need to pull the carburetor back off. Look at all the cat prints. Pull the carburetor back off and do a little bit of work to it. Because it don't want to idle just right. I either got some trash in it or something. So that's what I'm going to work on today. Hopefully I can get all that done. Maybe I'll work on that truck tomorrow. Don't think we'll head to Heavy Acres this weekend. Calling for a wintry mix. And if any of y'all lived in the South when that's predicted, it's bad news. Yesterday they spread brine all over the roads, so they rushed your old cars out. And now it's raining, so you know that was smart expenditure. But hey, I didn't go to college. What do I know? So I'm working away on my car here. By the way, if you don't think I need to fix the power steering pump, look at that big puddle. That's just a week. Yeah, I got me some new toys here. Expensive toys. About to pull the shroud out, got the fan off. Maybe I should have took, well, anyway. We're getting there. I'm going to replace that balancer too. I'm going to leave it black though. Leave it black though. By the way, I've drove it about 1,000 miles. Maybe a little more with that pulley on the back side of the V-belt. So far, so good. We'll see what happens. Oh, and I'm listening to, I can't listen to the contemporary radio all that much. It's just bad. So I listened to other stuff. I was listening to Johnny Paycheck and Colorado Kool-Aid. I swear, every time I hear that song, it just cracks me up. It just cracks me up. That's songwriting right there. It's not all that, meaningful and heart-tugging, but it's got a good story and the words rhyme and stuff. Which is more than can be said for some of this new stuff. Another good one is Merle Haggard, or The Good Times Really Over for Good. I think that was in the 70s, that song maybe. But it's even more applicable today. Alright, young fellas. This is how us old heads had to change headlights back in the day. You had this little ring here, and that would, it's hard to hold everything all at one time, but that would fit over the headlight right there. Of course, you had to take out your trim piece, and then take the 3 screws on that ring right there. Then the headlight would come out. And then you had to unplug it there on the back side. Sure enough. I'm taking this apart while I'm letting the radiator drain, is what I'm doing. I decided to go ahead and take the radiator out, make it life easier. I don't know why, but that headlight has like delaminated inside. No telling how old it is though. You know, I've run this radiator here for a long time. And it's starting. It didn't leak. Never ever ran hot. But it is showing a few signs of age. I don't know. Let me think on that. What you got, girl?
Headlights.
All right.
That's
Aren't
what you
so
wanted.
pretty? And of course I spilled antifreeze all over the floor, even though I got a pan and brains, but I never managed to keep it in the pan. I might put a new radiator in. Another thing I noticed is this thermostat housing is seeping antifreeze for some reason. Anyway, I can still do most of it. If I decide to put a radiator in it, we can still fire it up and back it out tomorrow. We just won't be able to go far with no radiator, will we?
No.
We got new Wagners to put in it. You can get weird looking headlights now where they got all kind of, looks like they're for a spaceship, but that ain't what I'm about. Alright, I'm going to shut up now and get back to work. And, of course, say hello, Mrs. Heavy Chevy.
Hello.
You're in the spotlight.
I don't like being in the spotlight. It's blinding.
Okay. I got to pull that bottom pulley and the power steering pump. Rebuild the power steering pump. Put a new balancer in it. So I'm going to get after it. Mrs. Heavy Chevy is asking me a lot of questions.
That's how you get answers.
She's looking out that window out there. What were you saying?
I said that's a 65, right?
Yeah, it's a 65. She said, have you been wanting one of those? I said, well, I have had a mild interest in a Galaxy 65, 66. But I've never really set out to find one.
That's what I thought. But it found you.
It found me.
And it's not in bad shape.
It's been sitting in a barn since 1973. It ain't got no transmission in it. I don't know where the transmission is. It might be in the trunk. The drive shaft's inside the car.
I see that.
But I see under the trunk it's kind of oily, so I suspect the transmission's in the trunk.
Oh. Well, that would be...
But the price was right on that car. I couldn't say no. I don't need another project. It was gonna go to the junkyard.
Well, I'm glad you saved it from the junk.
I just can't let that happen. I just can't let it happen.
Could do a different color paint.
You know what would be cool is paint it black and white like a cop car. And we could call it, I don't know, something.
Something cool.
We'll have to think on it. Y'all think of a good name for a black and white 65 Galaxy. Put on the door instead of, you know, police, protect and serve. Gotta be something else. I don't know. Hack, collect and collect.
Chevy's hack and grind service.
Mr. Heavy Chevy, collect and save or something like that.
Collect and save.
I'm wondering if I ain't on to something here. I was literally tightening the 5/16 bolt on the front of the puller and the balancer started coming off. Seems like I have more trouble than that. Usually, let's look it over real good. I mean, it almost fell off. I can't really see anything wrong with it or any wear damage like it was loose. But I do remember whenever I put this car together. See how many timing marks it's got on it? Seems to me, I checked the top dead center and it didn't line up to the factory mark. But now, I don't know which one, which mark. See, I even dabbed a little JB Weld on there. Looks like maybe. I don't know. But if I was to put a timing light on it, I wouldn't know which mark to use.
I wouldn't either.
And I'm the one who cut them little notches in there. I just can't remember. So anyway, this one could become metal art someday. Or something. So anyway, I'm going to remove this seal and then I'm going to dig around and see if I got a new one. And if not, I'm probably have to
order them.
Get one of them. Who knows if the parts store's got one. Alright, I don't have a front seal. I got 6 front seals, but not for Pontiacs. And I got old headsets and full gasket sets, but ain't a seal in one of them. So the parts store down in town can have one by 12:30. So I wonder if I can find somebody to go get it for me.
You might.
I might go get it my own self. But in the meantime, I can pull the power steering and get after that. I'm getting kind of hungry, so she's going to go do what she's supposed to and go get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Alright, here's what the inside of it looks like. I'm not going to tear the whole thing apart down to the vanes. The little kit didn't come with vanes. It comes with a front seal, but it's not leaking, so I'm just going to replace these 2 seals, that one, and that one on there, which is the one I believe is leaking, or either it was that one. And then a new seal right here for the reservoir, and I'm going to put it back together. The pump worked fine, everything's fine, it just leaked oil, and it leaked it from right there. So, or at least that area, so it was either that seal or that seal. So that's what I'm gonna do. Is it shook up now? You're so violent.
Well, you want it shook up, don't you?
I guess so. Do you want a shorter little Vivor chair? It's padded. Not that you don't have enough padding.
Well, you put it here.
I don't really like them trays, do you? Anyway, let me get you a rag. I'd use both hands on it because otherwise it'll do what it did. It caught somewhere in there. The thing's kind of tricky to hang on to. All right, are you going to be okay without me? I'm going to go get the parts I need.
Yeah, I can handle it.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're not going to get lonely?
Well, I might, but it is what it is.
Okay. Well.
Sometimes it's nice to be by yourself.
What? How could that be? Nice to be by herself, she says.
Sometimes, I said.
Oh, great.
With your own thoughts and your own opinions.
She's got plenty of those. How'd you get along without me?
I got along just fine. I stayed busy.
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
Well, it shouldn't break your heart. I was working on your car while you were gone. That should make you happy. You see, it has a...
I think you just gotta go over it again. But that looks way, 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 way better than it did.
Went over it twice on the fronts.
The front wheels, as I recall, have a little more oxidization on them. Pitting than the back wheels for whatever reason. They look a lot better. You know, I'd probably do more videoing if I could keep track of what I do with the camera. Alright, I managed to get the front bolt tightened to 160 foot-pounds. A little bit of a challenge. But what I did was put it in first gear, put the parking brake on. Mama ain't here right now. But I managed. I got her to click anyways. Alright, now it's time to put the pulleys on and the belts. I think I'm going to go ahead and order a new radiator. there's a company that's wanting me to try a radiator, so I think I'm going to do that. It's an aluminum one. This one is not leaking, it never overheats, but it's showing its age and I don't want to have any trouble. And a new copper and brass radiator is a fortune. Everything's a fortune. A quart of power steering fluid is a fortune. Alright, I'm going to shut up now. Alrighty. Like I said, alrighty. I had to go get a light. It's kind of dark. I got everything hitched back up. Power steering reservoir's got power steering fluid in it. Don't seem to be leaking. Yeah, anyway. So that might be a success. As far as we're going to go right there, I'm going to order a new radiator and see how that works. So to complete my project, I'm going to pick the car up a little bit. Take them front grills out, I think, so I can access the wiring harness for the headlights a little more easier. And I'm going to wire up some relays and maybe run some new wire. I think it's about 18 gauge wire for the headlights now. I don't know, but it seems like it ought to be a little heavier. I don't know. I'm going to investigate anyways. That's getting really shiny. That's really shiny.
Yeah, but it won't be as dry just because it's wet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, I've done something unorthodox. Not supposed to use purple and white for your headlight, but that's what I got, so that's what I'm going to use. The restoration guys might crucify me, but it's going to be okay. I think it's supposed to be light green and tan is what it's supposed to be. High and low beam, but this is going to be okay. Alright, I got it all wired up. The relays in place. I got to do a little tidying here of the wire. Some zip ties and stuff, but let's see, do the headlights work? Looks like we got two there. Let's hit the dimmer switch. Oh yeah, we got them both. Looks like it was a success. Says I got a running light not working. What's up with that? Working. 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 Huh. Well, anyway, it's getting late. I'm tired. I gotta go get cleaned up. The headlights work. I'm gonna come back out in the morning and finish putting it together. And then this one's gonna go out and I'm gonna bring the truck in. At least that's my plan. And I gotta order this radiator. I need to mess with a choke on this thing too. And probably take the carburetor off it. But I'm not doing that tonight or in the morning. I'm gonna adjust the choke maybe in the morning, but we're gonna work on something else. So I'm not gonna ring the bell. I'll ring the bell when I complete this project. We had a future time, I think. Alright, it's Sunday, kind of late. I need to finish putting this car back together since all the headlights work. Put the grills in it and the headlight bezel, which shouldn't take very long. And then I need to get this out of here and pull in the next project. And I need to order that radiator. I meant to do that. Anyway, I'm going to get it done. Alright, it's as together as it can be. So now I need to go outside and do a little shuffle. Put my trailer up in the driveway, I guess, with that car on it. Maybe I'll show you a sneak peek at the car. And then pull in that truck and put some different mufflers on it and do some other stuff.